That looks a lot better in real life than the pictures do. Okay, yeah, that's sick. Hi folks, welcome back to Highest Gear Reviews. I'm Lou Thomas, and I'd like to say first off, thanks for coming. Hey, please hit that subscribe button. Got a lot more cool stuff coming up, some more modifications to my 2021 C8 Corvette. So without further ado, here it is. 2021 Corvette C8, 8th generation of the Corvette. Of course, this car came out in 2020. My particular one is a 2021. I actually ordered this car about 18 months ago, and I got it about 3 weeks ago. And let me tell you, it is awesome. It is fantastic. It is the most fun car I've ever had. And I've had some fun cars, STIs, Challengers, Chargers, supercharged Mustangs, Camaros, Audi A4s, big turbos, all that kind of stuff. This one by far takes the cake. I mean, it is an awesome car to drive. If you have the ability to get one, or you just need to work a little bit harder, do some serious overtime, whatever you need to do, try to get one of these cars when you can. Base entry price, about $60,000. They went up a little bit over the next model year, just by about $1,000 or so. But for that money, I mean, you're getting a 6.2 liter V8 engine, direct injection, almost 500 horsepower, 500 foot-pounds of torque. These things will do 0 to 60 in about 2.8 seconds right from the factory. Just under 200 miles per hour if you get the Z51 package. This particular one's a non-Z51. It's actually more of a base package, but it goes a little bit faster because it doesn't have the wing in the rear. And it is a little bit over 200 miles per hour top speed. I personally like the way it looks. I don't really like the wing on the rear of these cars, and I like the way this one looks. So the way I got this one spec'd out, obviously, I got the silver stripes on it. I did add a aftermarket front splitter on there from Extreme Online Store. This particular car is a 1LT. Reason I got the 1LT, well, there's a lot of options that I didn't think that I really needed. And to tell you the truth, I'm kind of glad I did, because I don't really need them as far as the heated seats, heated steering wheel, all that kind of stuff. I'm not really going to be driving this car much in the winter time, even though I'm in Colorado. I have my truck for the snow days and stuff like that. Savini wheels hooked me up with these wheels. These are just awesome. They're a Savini wheel, like I said, to go on to the website, take a look at those wheels. They're the stock size, so 305s in the rear, 245s in the front, 19s and 20s, so a staggered setup. Like I said, man, there's really nothing I found that I don't really like about this car. There's a couple of little quirks we'll go through, and I'll show you a couple of things. As far as the color on this particular one, this one's called Rapid Blue. And like I said, this is a LT1 package, and this is the hardtop convertible. So when the top comes up, the convertible is just a hardtop convertible that comes over the top of the car. As far as other options on it, this car doesn't have adaptive cruise control. None of the Corvettes have adaptive cruise control. We wanted to design it as a kind of a driver's car for more of a driver's experience. So you're not going to get your adaptive cruise control. That'll probably come out in the 2022 model, and probably when we bring out the Z06. So of course the Z06 is going to be a monster. It's going to be probably about 700 plus horsepower, if not more. We'll see kind of what the engineers decide to do. So anyway, let's take a closer look at the 2021 Chevrolet Corvette C8. Hey guys, so one of the cool things, like I said, so this one of course is the C8 convertible. So one of the kind of neater things about it is, of course, you have the hardtop, which kind of saves that whole trunk space for you as well. So you can't fit a bag of golf clubs in there. I fit my normal bag in there, and then if we're gonna go with the wife, we'll just kind of use a smaller bag for each of us, so you can't actually get two small bags in there. More of kind of the Sunday bag variety, if you're familiar with those. So one of the cool things, of course, is the hardtop convertible. So let's start the car up. Got the key fob here, if you can kind of see that. We'll go ahead and press this button, start her up. Sound is really good. This one also has the two-stage exhaust in it. So say you want to drop the top, right? And you're kind of walking up to the car, and I want to show off to the country club or everyone else around you in the shopping mall. Okay, I mean, that's cool. Hardtop convertible, you're not going to lose any room in the trunk. So one of those things to think about if you're thinking about picking up one of these cars, maybe consider that. You know, are you going to be doing a lot of touring stuff? If you are doing a lot of touring where you need to take luggage with you, as far as the Targa Top car goes, it's going to use up a lot of room in the trunk, okay, as far as that Targa Top. This one being the convertible, you save the entire trunk space, so you still have the trunk, and of course you have the frunk in front as well, so you have that space in the front. One of the other options I did on the car, I also kind of went with the yellow brake calipers. I thought that could look kind of cool with the black as well. And then another thing we did was we went with like the blue seat belts in it as well, because I kind of like the way those look. So let's take a look inside. So as far as the interior on my C8, I actually went with the kind of gray interior, kind of sky gray interior. I thought it looked kind of cool with those stripes on it, and I didn't want to have the cabin too dark in the vehicle. As you can see, all leather seating surfaces, both seats are power. LT1 doesn't have memory on them, but that's okay, because we very rarely adjust our seats once we have them adjusted, and I'm pretty much the only one that drives this car. The wife doesn't really want to drive it. She just likes driving her car. As far as that kind of center console deal, they do call that the Great Wall. I like it. Kind of gives you that pilot feeling, kind of a cockpit feel, and gives you like a real command presence as far as the driver in the vehicle. Vents are nicely done. This particular one has the white trim stitching on it as well. If you go with the red seats, you get kind of the red stitching, and if you go with the black seats, you get the black stitching, and evidently if you go with the gray seats, you get kind of the white stitching. That's kind of cool, nice little feature. Interior is really nicely done. I mean, real nice quality materials, leather surfaces everywhere you can touch pretty much, and just really nicely done. Stereo is awesome in it. This particular one only has the 10 speaker system. The next model up goes up to a 14 speaker system. And I got to tell you, I'm not exactly sure why you would need this 14 speaker system, because this thing just rocks. I mean, it is a really good stereo system, all Bose speakers all around, and just sounds awesome. So take a look at the driver's side. So the driver's side, like I said, great place to be. I mean, this is just such a fun car to drive. I'd say it's probably the most fun car I've ever driven. Next car after this, surprisingly enough, would be a 2004 Subaru STI. I got when the STIs first came out to the United States. I managed to pick one up, and that was an Aspen white car, and that was just a raw horsepower monster and just a fun car to drive, real light. And it really, this kind of reminds me, it's just so much fun. There's so much power. I mean, 500 horsepower, it doesn't really sound like a lot, but when you take the weight into this car, I mean, it's just a little bit over 3,000 pounds, really. I mean, the horsepower to weight ratio is insane. And then, of course, having the motor mounted over the back wheels pretty much, or, you know, just forward of the back wheels, is just the transfer of power is unbelievable. I mean, I've taken this thing up against numerous cars, Hellcats, whole other kinds of stuff, and it just destroys them from this, you know, basically from the 0 to 60. I mean, just absolutely clobbers them, and that's because you've got no wheel spin, there's no drama, there's nothing. But anyway, moving on to the interior. So the interior, I like it. Okay, like I said, power seats here as well, really nicely done, black leather. You've got kind of your I guess I'd call it like kind of polished aluminum type look, or a brushed aluminum type look for the rest of the things. All your steering wheel buttons, as you'd expect, kind of has that cool wraparound console deal as well, all digital. I'll show you that when we start the car up and take a look from the inside. Of course, the mode selector, and there, of course, is that wall with all those switches. And you know, people were giving those switches a hard time. I have no problem with them. You get used to it within about the first 10 minutes of driving the car. I mean, it's very intuitive as far as, lift the button up, increase the heat, drop it down, decrease the heat, change the setting, change the fan. I mean, it's not that complicated, right? I mean, it's pretty simple. If you don't like those, you can do it on the touch screen as well. But as far as visibility, pretty good. I'm about 6'4", 6'5", depending on the day, it seems like. And I can see out of this car pretty well. I also got the convertible because it gives you a little bit more headroom right where I would locate my seat anyway. I got about 1.5 inches, 2 inches more headroom, which is handy for me for when I do autocrossing, as far as wearing a helmet and all that kind of stuff. So if you are taller and you don't fit into the coupe or the Targa top, make sure you take a look at the convertible. Of course, it has the paddle shifters, 8-speed dual shift transmission, and it is dual clutch transmission, not dual shift, and it is a rocket. I mean, the shifts are so crisp, so fast. I was very much into the whole save the manuals, and I still am. I love manual cars, but these dual clutches, until you've driven one, do not knock it, because they are unbelievable. They are just so good. So anyway, let's take a look at some other stuff on the old C8. Unless you've been living under the rock for like the last 4 years as far as automotive news goes or anything like that, you know that the engine on the C8 is obviously in the rear, so that gives us a frunk. So there's a little button under here. Press it, boom, pops right open. Quite a bit of room in here. I mean, I've got all my my camera gear in here right now, but let me pull out this backpack. So I've got this backpack in here, and it drops down. I've actually got a couple of things under it, so it'll actually drop down probably about another 3 or 4 inches. Pretty darn wide. So if we take the bag, kind of turn it sideways, there's one bag. I'm going to use this little line here in the weather stripping. So looks like about 1.5 bags, 1 3/4 bags I could fit in there. Fit it in this way, that way, etc., etc. So pretty good size. You've also got your windshield washer access there, your radiator, all that kind of stuff. There's also a power outlet in here as well. So I like to hook up my cameras and kind of charge them in the trunk while I'm driving the car along, as an emergency release, of course. And you just push it on down, locks in. You can also unlock this, of course, from the remote control. A couple of taps on the remote opens it up, and also, of course, the opening in the back of the car, or inside the car, sorry, in the cockpit. So let's take a look at the trunk area. Okay, guys, so like I said, as far as the trunk goes, like I said, you have 2 trunks in this car, so it's like the ultimate GT touring car, right? Just press the button here, trunk opens up, off it goes. Got the hydro assist, of course, pretty darn wide. I mean, it's almost the width of the whole car. As far as depth goes, I'll kind of reach in it, and as you can see, it comes up to about here on my arm, so that's pretty good. So like I said, I was able to put a set of golf clubs in here. You can put 2 sets of golf clubs in here if you kind of use the Sunday bags, the smaller bags. They should be able to go in there. So when you close it up, just close it down, hit the first, and then boom, soft close down. Like I said, you can also get this car with kind of the rear spoiler on it. I wasn't a huge fan on it. I thought it broke up the lines, but it still looks great. Not bashing that at all, just different strokes for different folks, right? So that's that. Let's take her out for a drive. So of course the question that comes up all the time is, what's it like to drive the C8? Okay, I'm going to tell you, this is the most fun car I've ever driven in my life. I mean, the handling is spot on from the factory. You can make it even more track weapon, like more of a track weapon if you want, just by adjusting the alignment a little bit on the front end and getting rid of a little bit of the push that it has, but I'm talking very little, and 99.9% of us won't need to do that. But if you do use it for track days, knock yourself out. Chevy will give you the specs as far as what they want the alignment at. But just a fun car to drive. So I've got the top down, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. So off we go. And let's get her back on the road here. Look up behind us. So as far as wind noise in the cabin, I mean, it really isn't that bad. We're doing about 35 miles per hour now, and not really bad. I mean, it's a convertible, so obviously you're going to get some wind noise. But it's just so much fun to have the top down and just drive, enjoy the beautiful Colorado air. Right now, if you're wondering where we are, we're real close to Mount Evans in Colorado. Mount Evans is in Clear Creek County, which is probably about 40 miles west of Denver, Colorado. So come on out. It's a beautiful place to be. So I love it. I've lived here for quite a while. But anyways, back to the car. Steering is fantastic, and I mean, the steering wheel feels cool. It's kind of that squared off steering wheel. A lot of people were knocking that, saying it was kind of weird. I really like it. It took about, I don't know, maybe one drive to get used to it, if even that. You know, I mean, it's easy to grip, nice wide steering wheel, or nice wide, you know, grip on the steering wheel. The paddle shifters are exactly where you want them. They're so responsive. I mean, it's unbelievable how responsive these shifters are in this car. We can change it to a different mode. We're in tour mode now. Now we're going to go to sport mode, and I don't know if you can see the RPMs, but I mean, it's just up. I mean, boom. I mean, the shifts are just so fast. It is unbelievable. So good job on that dual clutch transmission. Visibility, to me, I have no problem with the visibility. People comment about the side being real wide as far as the bolsters on the side, these rear fenders. I don't have a problem with it at all. Mirror's nicely placed, has the little window in the back that goes up and down for when you have the top up, you can drop it down a little bit, get a little bit of air in, or when you have the top down, you can drop it all and get that real open air feeling in the car. Like I said, the sound system's spectacular in it. I mean, it just really rock and rolls really nicely. As far as handling, I mean, just beautiful handling car. Suspension feels super comfortable. This one's actually the base suspension, and I was going to go with the MagneRide, and then I didn't. Plus, I wanted to save some money, to tell you the truth. And this is mostly just a touring car for me anyway. It's pretty much just driving distances and driving around. And to tell you the truth, it's kind of my daily driver as well. So I just wanted to be comfortable, and it is just so comfortable, just spot on as far as how it feels to drive this car. Just very, very comfortable. The seats feel great. These ones aren't heated, but I don't notice that at all. They're not cooled either, and that's another reason I went with a light color, just for that kind of cooling effect as far as the lighter color versus the dark color. But brakes on it feel top notch. You know, like I said, it's not a Z51, but it has really big brakes on it, and they feel really, really good. Yeah, so I mean, as far as just a fun car to drive, this is going to be a hard car to beat, I got to tell you. So I know there's a lot of kind of folks out there that have some really powerful cars, like some of these Hellcats and the GT, you know, 500 and stuff. But I'm telling you, off the line, I don't know how you're going to beat this car, because it is just so quick and it hooks up so well, and it's just a fun car. I really enjoy it. The interior on the C8 Corvette, so a nice place to be. I really like it. Cool instrument cluster. So like I said, you can kind of change it for all these different modes. And let's take a look here. So this is currently tour mode, and then we can switch it over and we go to sport mode, and the exhaust changes as well. It goes to a much lower tone, louder exhaust. And then track mode, which is one of my favorites, and that one kind of gives you that really cool looking tachometer up at the top there, and then you know, the gears right in the middle, which are important to know, obviously, if you're on a track day, and your speed down below. Then you can change kind of the settings on the side over here as well to all different types of things, and maintenance options, so many things. I'm not even too sure what all it does, because I haven't really messed with them all. Performance timer, 0 to 60. That's kind of cool if you're into the track stuff. And then you also have your G-force meter and a lap timer. And then back to our 0 to 60 again, so that's pretty cool. And then as far as the audio system, like I said, man, it sounds really, really good. I mean, I really enjoy it. Onto the audio stuff, but to turn that down so we don't get any copyright stuff. But yeah, really good system. Hooks right up to my Samsung phone or your Apple phone, whatever you want to use. Of course, has the satellite radio built into it as well. Sounds really nice. You can, of course, kind of mimic all the stuff on your cell phone and kind of do your navigation through it and all that kind of stuff, which is nice. Gear shifter is down here. Basically, you just pull up on it, and now we're in reverse. Pull up on it, we're in drive, park, manual mode as well, and of course this one was the mode selector for those different modes on the dash. Steering wheel has a whole bunch of stuff on it, as you'd expect, kind of the Z button, which you can custom tailor to what you want it to do. The paddle shifters, nice big metal paddle shifters, feel great in your hand. Of course it has your cup holders, and they are right there. Here's that kind of the Great Wall, as they call it, the air conditioning, aircon controls on it. I have no problem with it at all. I think it works really great. You can also do it, of course, on the screen as well if you want to. And then moving up, we have the mirror. The mirror does have that digital mode in it, and I don't know. To me, it kind of throws my depth perception off a little bit. I guess I've just got to get used to it. Right now it's in manual mode because the top's down, but with the top up, you can put on the digital rear view mirror if you want. So I really enjoy it. Fun place to be. It does have push buttons as far as the door handles, so it doesn't have door handles anymore. It's just a silver push button, and of course your power windows, of course, and cool little heater vents as well. And yeah, just a nice place to be. There you have it, folks. 2021 Corvette C8. Like I said, if you can get one, do yourself a favor, pick one up. This car is phenomenal. The performance you're going to get, the bang for the buck, it's just unbeatable. The looks it gets, everyone asks all the time, what is this car? A lot of people think it's like some kind of a Lamborghini or something like that, or a Ferrari. And then you tell them a Corvette and they're like, what? So, like I said, I can't really find anything bad to bash on this car. Maybe some of the minor, tiny little things. Maybe where the mirror is, you know, just kind of gets in my way because I'm so tall, as far as some of my exits out of the right-hand corners, that kind of stuff. That's it. That's, I think, the only thing I can possibly think of as far as a knock on this car. I mean, I just like every part of it. I like how I spec'd it. I like the color. It's fun. And I figured if I'm going to get a supercar, or what I consider a supercar, because I'm not going to buy a $300,000 car, but for mid-70s, I mean, like I said, you can get in this car for low 60s with the hardtop, same performance and everything. I mean, it's unbeatable. So here it is, the 2021 C8 Corvette. Like I said, fun car. Another good part about it, when you do drive it, you don't have to worry about breaking it, because if you do break it, it's still a Chevy, and you just go to a Chevy dealer and get it fixed. So I don't know how people with some of these $300,000, $500,000 supercars feel when they go to the dealer to get the repairs done, but like I said, no issues at all. So once again, thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification as well. Leave some comments if you want to see some stuff on this C8 Corvette. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of work to it. There's a lot more stuff to come. And like I said, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. And thank you, and take care. And please come and visit beautiful Colorado.